Hey guys, happy Monday. Hope everyone's week is off to a good start. And it is time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So let's talk about this baby first. So Rafa came in today and hit the ground running here, continuing to put this bad boy together. So you may remember if you follow the channel, I finished the long block last week, I think it was, and then Rafa started transforming it from a long block up to a complete motor. And so today, let's see what he did today. Today, I don't remember if it was this one or the other side, but he finished assembling and installing the other heater box. Again, I think I mentioned before, the rods that control the flaps, we were missing them and we didn't really have any laying around. So he fabricated both of those. So we fabricated the second one today and installed it. It's basically just a rod with like a little right angle on each end that has a hole in it that a cotter pin goes through. And that is what, if I can show you here, it's what controls your heat. So this flap closes when the heaters are on. And so that forces the air that normally would come out the back of the motor to go this way into the body of the car, and that's where you get heat. So he did that, and as you can see, he went ahead and installed the manifold and the carburetors, and he put the generator and the fan shroud together, installed that, put the coil on it, a bunch of little details like that. The carburetors, again, which were done by a British car shop, British specialty shop, because we're kind of new to SU carburetors. They took them apart and they went through them and got them all dialed in, but there were some things that were cosmetically not quite where we wanted them. So for example, Rafa pulled one of these. This is basically the float bowl here. He went ahead and pulled one of those and spent some time with it on the polishing wheel, polished it up a bit. I think he's done this one and he needs to come back and then do this one. You see, this is a slightly more dull, but he did that. And then I think I mentioned before, one of these, or the rod on this side, or not the rod, the lever on this side, which is for the choke, was installed backwards, which they didn't know, so I don't fault them for that. But basically we had to flip this thing around so that it's facing this way. So now the choke cable will basically pull on this lever like that when you actuate the choke. So this rod here is getting pushed, and then it'll be connected with a rod or lever, whatever you want to call it, to this side, which will also be getting pushed. So both of these things will go that way, this goes that way, and that is the choke, which apparently, so I had a pretty good long conversation with the British guys, and they said, yeah, pretty much these cars, they really need to have the choke hooked up in order to start them. So kind of like an early VW, like say a 25 horsepower, with the 26 millimeter carb on it that didn't have an accelerator pump. The SUs, to my knowledge, also don't have anything resembling an accelerator pump. So that means that when you go to start them when they're cold, you really need to create some vacuum and so on to richen them up enough that you can get some gas pulled into the cylinders and start the car. So yeah, that's the choke mechanism on these. So it is, as far as I understand, someone correct me if you know more about these than me, this is basically like a variable jet here, part of it. So when you put on the choke, you're enriching it by basically like enlarging this jet essentially here. And then it is also actuating a little lever that you can see there moving, that in turn puts the car on high idle. So you're watching when I do this. So this is the shaft that'll run over to the other side and then also hook up to the throttle cable. So when you put the choke on, you can see how it puts you up on fast idle. So there you go. So learning a lot about SU carburetors. But at the end of the day, carburetors are carburetors. They're fairly simple devices. Yeah, so we'll get these puppies all figured out here and make some cool linkage to connect these two as far as the choke setup, and then we'll make some kind of, I guess what we'll do is normally the choke cable comes through here and then basically runs right to the carburetor. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to somehow make an extended choke cable and housing that'll route over here somehow and then we'll have to make a bracket that'll sort of hold it here, roughly right here. And then when you pull on it, the cable will go from the end of the housing, which again will have to end right here, to there, and then pull it, and we'll have to figure out how much travel we need and all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll figure it out. It's a fun little project. So that was Rafa's day, and he was having fun. He worked about an hour and a half over what he normally does because he was having so much fun. And the results, I think, speak for themselves, even though I've been yapping about the results for the last 5 minutes. There you go. Rafa and I are completely in love with this motor, and I think both of us could just stand and stare at it because we're so happy with how it's coming out and how unique it's looking. So yeah, and we've got some more tricks up our sleeve for this motor, so stay tuned. For me, I pretty much focused today on the 67. I need to get the final push going here. This car is really close to being done, and I've kind of been distracted trying to get some other projects moving along here lately, but I decided I really need to give this thing some love. So did a bunch of like little kind of miscellaneous stuff on it today, but I guess the big things that I did was I put on the front hood and the rear deck lid. Front hood fits really nice. It latches super nice. It's latched now. Let's go ahead and pop this thing. Let's see. Super smooth. And there you go. So yeah, come out really well. Very happy with this. And again, we used the original mechanism and everything because it was in super nice shape. This, of course, we did have re-zinc plated, and the car did come with a little cover that's usually missing. That's this little sheet metal piece here. So I installed that once I knew that the mechanism and everything was working right. So yeah, really looking good. And of course, I think it was last week I went ahead and installed the gas tank, and if you saw the video last week, you know that I cleaned up the original cover for the sender and then his original gas cap. Super bitchin' with the VW logos on them. Love it. And yeah, so it's kind of a shame that that's going to be covered with the liner, but yeah, looks super clean. Anyhow, so yeah, hood went on, got adjusted, and latch is really nice. Just a little push. Don't slam them, people. Do not slam them. What else? Couple other little minor things. Like I said, I just worked on a lot of little things on here. Other than the hood and the deck lid, the other things were all kind of small. Like these, for example. So these are the plugs where if you had a shoulder harness in here, where it would go. And we're using the original style seat belt, so no shoulder harness. These are original plugs, so I spent some time cleaning these up. And so those went in. And then, let's see, his original kick panels went in, which were in really, really nice shape. I just I just cleaned them up. They were really in great condition. The vinyl on them and everything was really nice. So very pleased with that. Love reusing stuff like that when it's, up to the quality of the car. So yeah, that went in. I did actually run by the auto parts store and got him a new battery. So this is his real battery, and it's bolted in and all that good stuff. Not hooked up on the positive side yet because there's no point, and I don't like leaving batteries connected when I'm not really ready for it yet. There is no point, like I said. So that happened, and let's see, what else? I feel like there must have been something else I did. Oh, here we go. So we had his original wiper arms, which were really nice. They weren't this nice. This is after I took care of them, but you can see, I think, there it is. Yeah, VW logo on there. So yeah, these are original, super nice. So I pulled them apart, meaning I pulled these springs out of them here, and then sandblasted everything, and then painted them in this high quality silver paint that we used that looks a lot like what the factory used, and then put them back together. So yeah, those are ready. I ordered the wiper blades from Wolfsburg West, and Wolfsburg West had the wiper blades that have the actual correct silver on them. So they're not the black ones, they're the silver ones as far as like the metal parts of them. So it's going to look very correct and very cool on here. The other thing is I decided to use his original hood VW logo. It's got some minor imperfections in it, I would say consistent with its age, but really, really in nice shape. Also considering its age, and you guys know how much I love this stuff. There it is. Boom. VW logo, part number. It's made by Huff. Bitchin'. Look at that. So yeah, this car's got some pretty nice original parts on it here. The car was a really nice car. Original winders, original bezels and stuff here. All these pop out latches and stuff are original. You know, like I said, these that I put on, just are really nice, clean, original parts all over this car. It's original steering wheel, which we didn't have to recast or anything. We just basically cleaned it up and painted it the right color, and then put a hard automotive grade clear coat over it, so the finish on it's durable. Just stuff like that all over this car. Just really nice original parts that obviously we would rather use versus reproduction parts. So other than that, his deck lid went on pretty nice, and I've got it adjusted pretty good. I'm fairly happy with it. I may tweak it a little bit more, but it seems like the lines are looking pretty nice here. Pretty happy with that. It didn't actually take a lot of adjustment to get it that nice, because it is a nice car again. However, the one thing that I noticed as I was putting it on was that when I initially put it on, and this was before I adjusted it, but I have a feeling it's still going to happen a little bit, is that big ass 67 only air cleaner was actually hitting the underside of the deck lid. And so initially, at least, I wasn't able to close the deck lid all the way. However, at the time, the deck lid was adjusted, maybe not a 1/4 inch, but maybe like 3/16 or so of an inch too far that way. And so that definitely wasn't helping. So now that I've got the deck lid where it needs to go, the next step would be to put the air cleaner back on and see if it's hitting, which I'm guessing it will be, albeit probably barely. And then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pull this spacer off that we had to use, because the manifold is not exactly the right one, but it's what we were able to find. And I'm going to have to shorten this a little bit. But there's not a lot of room because this stuff is pretty close. I might have to shave the end of this rod a little bit here. Hate to do stuff like that, but sometimes it's what you got to do with the hand that you've been dealt as far as the parts that you were able to find. So, you know, none of that stuff's going to be noticeable. But yeah, I may have to shorten this thing a hair, but we'll see. Again, I did adjust the deck lid in a way that would help with that clearance, but I will keep you guys posted on that one. Either way, not a big deal. So I believe that is it for today. Jacob was out for some reason today. I don't remember why. I think he had to study for a test, physics test. So good luck to him on that. I think that test is tomorrow. He wanted to take today to study. So school is important. So yeah, nothing really done on this today. And this guy, I didn't do anything on it today per se. However, I ordered him a fuel pump rebuild kit. So James, I'll have your fuel pump rebuild kit in the morning, and I'll probably go ahead and pull your fuel pump, and hopefully there'll be a smoking gun, so to speak, as to why your fuel pump was leaking, and we'll get that resolved and then get on to his cam brake in, and then this thing's almost done actually. So that would be it for today, guys. As always, appreciate you watching. Oh, by the way, it was good meeting a few of you guys at Treffen on Sunday. Liza and Steve, aka OC Avant. I think those were, I'm trying to think if I met any other YouTube viewers. If I did and I'm not mentioning you, I apologize, but those two for sure I met and spent quite a while speaking with them. So great seeing you guys. So that's it. We will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. Bye.